Hello, and thank you for watching my video. I am Mikei the Mighty, and welcome to another in the series looking at PvP builds for Guild Wars 2 in 2016. And today, we're doing this during the second season. It's been going on for a day or two now. And I wanted to do a builds video and look at some of my experience with what the new, inverted commas, meta is. And as you can see, I'm actually on a Revenant. Now, Revenants I have, fleetingly touched with. I've played a lot of Revenant in PvE, particularly raids. This is actually a guy that you'll notice has Ventari's gear. This is my tank for the Veil Guardian, which I've done several times. And I've tanked this very, very well. So this is generally what I've played, and I've not really played a damage type character since they nerfed the hammer with, I had a DPS Revenant and used the hammer a lot. Particularly, it was popular in World versus World, but I actually used it quite a lot in PvP. So let's actually have a look at this build. Now this build is not my build. This is a build that I needed a bit of help with for looking at Revenants. I came up against a number of different Revenants and thought, you know what, they are actually quite a good position right now in terms of the meta. So let's actually have a look at the Revenant. So, Revenant will be running a sword shield. Now, the shield very, very useful, particularly for the skill 5. It gives you that 3-second, pretty much invulnerability, although you will be suffering from conditions, I believe. But the skill 3 is the bread and butter. This is the best skill that the Revenant pretty much has. And this is their signature skill as well, giving you might each time you damage a foe. So, it really does allow you to stack up your might very, very quickly. We also run Staff for a couple of reasons. One, we actually have the skill 3, which is the block, very useful against projectiles. We have the skill 4, which actually counts as a heal. And skill 5, which is great for mobility and those knockdowns, as well as number 2 being a knockdown skill as well. If I just demonstrate here on this column, using skill 1 and then using skill again, we get, well, we don't actually get knocked down there, but you see the weakness inflicted on the golem. Now, how should you run this build? Because we all know that Revenants have the ability to put boons out. Well, it's a good question. But before I explain a little bit of the mechanics, I just want to complete the build. We actually run Shiro, and the Shiro, the assassin stance, is very, very useful for a couple of things. But if we actually have a look at what we're running, on the staff we'll run Sigil of Hydromancy, Sigil of Leeching, pretty much so that we can actually chill them when we swap to the staff, and also we actually get a little bit of health back. On the sword shield, we run Sigil of Air, giving that critical for the lightning strike, and Sigil of Blood, excuse me, to actually steal that little bit of health. And we run Paladin's Amulet, which gives us power, precision, toughness, vitality. Quite a good, nice amulet to take with the Rune of Strength, because it gives us that extra might and the opportunity to gain more might when struck, and also we do more damage while under might as well. So, what we're going to be doing, the way this is set up, is, we'll have a look at the traits, is we actually run Devastation, Retribution, and Herald. Now, Devastation, we actually run Vicious Laceration, so when you attack during a sword, you'll actually do more and more damage, because it can be stacked up to 5 times. So you can do actually up to 10% damage. So that's very useful for the Unrelenting Assault. We do damage with Vulnerability, and there are certain skills that actually give vulnerability. Obviously, the auto attack does. And then we get the Increase the Ferocity of nearby allies, very, very useful in team fights. And this one's a good one. When you strike foes that have vulnerability, you siphon health from them. So it's important to get that initial attack to make them vulnerable. Then actually you can siphon a fair amount of damage from them while you're attacking them. And you can also siphon when you hit them from the behind or the side, which is again very useful with Unrelenting Assault. Now, we're actually going to talk a little bit more about the life siphoning when we come onto the Shiro stance. When we look at Retribution, we actually gain the opportunity to get Endurance when struck. Foes that you strike from further away than 360, they deal less damage, so that's pretty handy. Foes that you strike from farther away than 360 deal less damage. I'm actually going to change that. It's, you can run this because basically, yeah, it's kind of an iffy one. I prefer just, foes that strike you, so any attacks that we take from further than 360, they'll be doing less damage. So this designed for those close quarters battles. If you're thinking like a dragon hunter with their longbow, if they're outside of 360, which generally they are apart from maybe for the traps, then they're going to be doing 10% less damage. So this is a really useful trait to take. It means that if you're getting flanked, for example, or if you're in a 2v1 situation and one person engages you while the other stands back, they're going to be the person standing back is going to be doing less damage. This is a trait you can change out. You can actually bring in Dwarven Battle Training. I actually prefer Eye for an Eye because when disabled, you actually taunt them and it stops them from doing your skills, and you actually gain protection. You take reduced damage when you're below 75%, and also you have the chance when struck to use Rite of the Great Dwarf. Really useful to actually reduce your, the damage you're going to be taking by 50%. Then we've got actual Glint. This one's good. Radiant Revival obviously revives the downed party member quicker. You gain increased endurance regeneration while you have an increased upkeep skill. So you can see here that I'm still in combat. I actually have increased endurance regeneration while this is going on. Increased boon duration and increased damage per boon on you. So this is really useful when you consume Facet of Nature. You get 5 boons. That's an increased 10% straight out just by using that skill there. So this is the build that we've actually got. And the way that it should be set up is obviously things like Facet of the Gaze of Darkness and the Burst of Strength, which comes from the Facet of Strength and Darkness. These are very useful. The first one we have is Gaze of Darkness. This is very useful for revealing foes. So think about engineers, mesmers, thieves. This is very, very useful indeed. Obviously, when you're first starting out in the gate, you want to have the Facet of Swiftness up as well. Or the facets of the elements, sorry. It gives you swiftness to all of your party members. Try and pump out Facet of Nature as well, because that increases the boon duration for all of those boons that you're going to be sharing at the beginning. You can use the Facet of Elements to do a lot of condition damage there, but then we can use this is the bread and butter of the build, the Unrelenting Assault. But this isn't actually how you want to play your build in particular. What you want to be doing, as you can see, we're building up the boons. We've got the Might, we've got the Fury, and then you want to swap and go into Shiro stance. Use your heal skill, because using enchanted daggers will be siphoning health, and you'll be doing a hell of a lot more damage than you do normally. So you can see here we're doing a lot of extra damage for hitting them from the side by actually getting the Assassin's Annihilation, which is we've got a couple of traits that are going to be proccing. We also have Rift Slash, so this is the auto attack, Brutal Blade again, and we've got the Preparation Thrust. But you'll notice what we actually did damage for. We've got the Enchanted Daggers there, and that's actually doing the siphoning health. So we're doing a lot of damage by swapping and actually going, if we actually have the Glint, the Dragon Stance enabled. And again, we're pumping out the Fury and the Might, and then you can actually invoke it, which automatically boosts your energy back up to 50%, or get the healing skill up, and then boom, there we go. We're going to do some attacking, and then it's got vulnerability, so we're doing even more damage. Now this is a really useful build actually, and we've got a chill going on there, and just boom, really, really easy to do. Let's actually try and take out one of the chieftains, or the chieftain, or we'll do Svanir. And again, what we're going to do, we're going to start off in Glint stance. So we're going to pump out, very easily done, the Fury and the Might, that you see there, with extra boon duration. And remember, even though we're actually reducing our energy cost, our energy is going down and down, the idea is that you swap out of Glint, go into the Shiro stance, use that healing skill, which gives you the daggers. So here we go. We're going to go into the healing skill, use the skill 6 there, and go in, and we'll use Unrelenting Assault. You can see they're doing a fair amount of damage. Keep attacking from behind. Now, if you want to recover from a bit, if you're really struggling to take out Shiro or take out Svanir, again, we'll use the Unrelenting Assault, and there we go. A lot of damage, and it's dead. And you see actually the legendary Dwarven Stance procced there, so we're taking less damage. So it's a very useful build. It's got a number of traits that proc at certain levels, and this is really useful to take with you. Again, mobility wise, if you want to go around the map, you can, you pump the swiftness and off you go. Not only that, you've got the ability with the healing skill. Now this is very, very useful when you actually, if I'm going to go and demonstrate it, hopefully on one of the NPCs. Now, when you've actually got the healing skill up, you're actually gaining regeneration. But it's this skill here that you get, Infused Light. So what we've got here, we've got the Chieftain. I'm going to go in and just spoil this person's attack. So I'm going to proc the healing skill, and unfortunately he's been frozen. That's really annoying. But basically what the skill does is for 3 seconds, all incoming damage converts to healing. And this is where you can really prevent yourself and give you that extra survivability. Not only do you have the skill Shield 5 to actually enable you to basically take no damage, you've then got this healing skill which can boost you up, and then you've got the ability to swap onto your staff. So what we're going to do, we're going to go in and we're going to let these guys attack us. Let them damage us. There you go, they're damaging us. We're going to give us the knockdown, so I'm going to pump that. And then what we're going to do, we're going to pump the healing skill. Come on guys, there you go. So we're getting actually attack. We're actually being healed up just for that. And again, watch what we're going to do here. We're going to go in and we've got propped our shield, skill 5 for the shield. And then we want to get out of here, yeah? Okay, alright. Well, we've got our healing skill. We'll heal up a little bit. We'll block. And then we'll get the hell out of there. You know, I'm not attacking here. This is the whole point, is just to show you that it's got the range and the abilities to survive, as well as doing a substantial amount of damage. And this is where the ability, you know, your character comes in. Again, you know, you can convert damage to healing. So, not only that, you know, we'll pop the, get rid of the facet there. But just look, being next to this guy here, we're actually pumping out Assassin's Presence and Naturalistic Resonance, increasing the boon duration by 50%. So just by being in a group fight with your allies, you're going to be helping them out do more damage and also keep those boons alive. You know, keep those boons going, give that protection. You know, there are other skills. If we actually look at the range of skills which you have, our elite skill is the ability to give yourself protection. Fantastic ability. You can have a lot of protection, a lot of damage mitigation, and then you can swap that into Shiro stance. You've got the ability to stun them for 3 seconds by turning them to the Jade Wind. So again, if we actually look here at the Golem, there you go, they're all turned to Jade Wind. We'll swap into Glint stance and to get our energy back up again, and there we go. We're doing a bit of unrelenting assault, and this is just auto attacking and really cleaving it down very, very quickly. There you go, nice and easy. This is actually quite a fun build. You know, I've actually had a fair amount of fun with it. It's a good build to take, you know, for a heavy armor class. You look at the warriors, they're really lacking at the moment, and the Guardian, okay, it has the Dragon Hunter, but the Revenant actually has the ability to get in there, do damage, be that tough guy, and also be support. It's a multi-rolled character that we have, a multi-rolled profession that we've got the ability to here. And so for those of you who are a bit unsure about Revenant, they have the ability to be very, very quick to move around the map, to do a lot of damage, and to actually, again, if we swap into here, we'll swap into Shiro, and we'll do a bit of damage. You'll notice again, we're critting, we're doing a lot of damage, and it's just damn. Very, very easy to do. Again, lots of fun. You'll ask perhaps about condition removal. Well, we actually have the ability to remove conditions through by changing stances. I think I've actually shown that here. There is the ability to remove conditions. Not only that, you can actually remove immobilize, chill, and cripple using the skill here. And we can actually, if any skills are being blocked, so you think about the Guardian shield skills, well, this one doesn't allow them to be blocked. They're unblockable. So using this in conjunction with Unrelenting Assault, very, very useful against even Mesmers as well. You've got Impossible Odds that gives you that quickness, so it does take a lot of energy toll out of you, so use it wisely. Anyway, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this little demonstration of the Revenant. It's been very useful for me. I hope it's useful for you. Please leave any comments in the section below, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.